Welcome to Sacred Place Live. I'm your host, Matthew. Today we begin with the first story of Lent. We are going to spend some time with the parables in the next few weeks, and I think the one this week will be maybe one of the most familiar across culture, whether or not you are versed well in the Bible or not. The story of the Good Samaritan, I think, is one that is common in our vernacular. Let us read now from the Gospel of Luke. A legal expert stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he said, "what must I do to gain eternal life?" Jesus replied, "What is written in the law? How do you interpret it?" He responded, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your being, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself." Jesus said to him, "You have answered correctly. Do this and you will live." But the legal expert wanted to prove that he was right. So he said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. He encountered thieves, who stripped him naked, beat him up, and left him near death. Now, it just so happened that a priest was also going down the same road. When he saw the injured man, he crossed over to the other side of the road and went on his way. Likewise, a Levite came by that spot, saw the injured man, and crossed over to the other side of the road and went on his way. A Samaritan, who was on a journey, came to where the man was, but when he saw him, he was moved with compassion. The Samaritan went to him and bandaged his wounds, tending them with oil and wine. Then he placed the wounded man on his own donkey, took him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day he took 2 full days' worth of wages and gave them to the innkeeper. He said, "Take care of him, and when I return I will pay you back for any additional costs." What do you think? Which one of these three was a neighbor to the man who encountered thieves? Then the legal expert said, "The one who demonstrated mercy toward him." Jesus told him, "Go and do likewise." While Jesus and his disciples were traveling, Jesus entered a village where a woman named Martha welcomed him as a guest. She had a sister named Mary who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his message. By contrast, Martha was preoccupied with getting everything ready for their meal. So Martha came to him and said, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to prepare the table all by myself? Tell her to help me." The Lord answered, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and distracted by many things. One thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the better part. It won't be taken away from her." I think we've heard this story before, many of us. The Good Samaritan. Now, if you remember, we just talked about the Samaritans when Jesus and a couple of his disciples go through a Samaritan village on their way to worship in Jerusalem. They are not welcomed with hospitality. They are sent on their way because they worship in Jerusalem and not in Samaria. So it's interesting to see that Jesus tells a story where the Samaritan is the hero of the story, the righteous one, the one doing as they should do. It is not the ones who would be assumed to be righteous who do the right thing. Now, the person who is a scholar in the law who is asking Jesus about these things, trying to catch him in an error or saying something he shouldn't, is asking these questions not out of true curiosity, but to prove himself. And so I appreciate that Jesus turns things on their head. I'm sure that if we placed ourselves in the shoes of the high priest or the Levite who walked on the other side of the road, we can understand why they might have done it. Why they were too busy or were just concerned about getting involved in a situation. We're good at making those excuses as people, I think. But we can also see ourselves as the Good Samaritan, the one who sets aside their time and stops in the middle of what they're doing to help someone in need. I think we like to think that we'd be that person, but we aren't always, and that's something we can admit, I hope. But let's place ourselves for once in the mindset of the one who is injured on the side of the road, left for dead. Wouldn't you just want someone to help you? Wouldn't you just hope that someone would have mercy on you, not really caring who it is? The one who helps is the one who shows us what it is to be a good neighbor. During this season of Lent, we are looking at what it means to be human by looking toward Jesus, the human one. God in human form, showing us how to be the best versions of ourselves. So this story is an important one, showing us what it means to be a good neighbor, what it means to be human is to care for others who are in need. Even what I find interesting, it's the one who is marginalized by the Jewish people, who were the hearers of this story, is the one who surprises them by being the helpful one. So I think Jesus is showing us that not only is it neighborly, is it good to be the one caring for others, but to do so across the boundaries we place around and between ourselves. This ethnic boundary of Jew and Samaritan is one that is crossed because there is a need. What boundaries do we place around ourselves, saying, okay, we'll help people like us, but not people like that? We at Sacred Place strive for justice, inclusion, and family, and try to break down those barriers, but they are so reinforced by our culture and society. It is up to us to break down those divisions and to care for others across those lines that are really just arbitrary in so many ways. So, if it means caring for one another is to be human, to be the best version of ourselves. How will you do that as you go about your week during this season as we prepare ourselves for Easter? May you reflect on that during this song.
We're together in this. Sure, we've got our own politics. Sure, we got our own religions. But we're still together in this. We're together in this. Sure, we got our own set of problems. Yeah, we got our own things we want to change. But we're still together in this. I'll carry your weight, neighbor. You carry mine. We'll leave the battle far behind. Let love and peace become all that we need. Oh, 'cause we're still together in this. So put away your blood and your violence. Rest in solitude and in silence, yeah. 'Cause we're still together in this. I'll carry your weight, neighbor. You carry mine. We'll leave the battle far behind. Let love and peace become all that we need. Oh, I'll carry yours, you carry mine. We'll leave the battle far behind. I'll carry yours, you carry mine. We'll leave the battle far behind. I'll carry your weight, neighbor. You carry mine. We'll leave the battle far behind. Let love and peace become all that we need. Oh, 'cause we're still together in this. We're still together in this, yeah. We're still together in this. We're still together in this.
That song is a good reminder that we are all together in this world. The ways we divide ourselves don't really matter when it comes to being God's people. May that enrich your week as we gather again on Sunday, as we walk with Jesus between now and then. To be human is to care for others. May we find new ways to do that in the coming days, weeks, months, and year. That is the way we create sacred places wherever we go. For those of you who are regulars at Sacred Place, I want to remind you that this Sunday at our normal time of 10:30 is our annual meeting when we cast a vision for the year, when we talk about the past year and do the important work of setting a budget and electing our leaders for another year. All of that information is on our website at yoursacredplace.org. I hope to see you on Sunday or back here next Thursday. As always, this is your sacred place.